gap. Instead of moving them all in, I guess he was trying to, well, actually he kind of needed to save that base, so it makes sense that he would run in those lurkers. I don't know why I keep saying today. I usually am pretty good about not saying the wrong unit names, but for some reason today I keep saying lurker, or lurker instead of defiler, all defiler also. Anyway, yeah. So Great loses his third base, and that is not good at all. That is not good at all. He's getting the defiler mount up. He's at least continued with this tech, but now it's 2 base versus 2 base, and that is not where you want to be as a Zerg player. He just barely did not get those lurkers out in time, and C with a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous timing attack, just attacking right when those lurkers were morphing, was able to kill them off before they were able to get in position, and just shut down that extra base. Just nicely done there. Excuse me, I did it again. Inhaling my own saliva. Oh man. Sorry, Great coming in here for kind of a counterattack though. Gonna run in lurkers and burrow, and there's not really much in the way of troops here, but he's got 2 bunkers and that's all he needs. Oh my God, what are you doing, Great? Great is giving up this match again. He gave up the first match. It looks like he's giving up this third game as well. I mean, he's got a defiler mound. Why didn't he wait for defilers to make that attack? I guess he figured he had an opportunity there, but he went in with very, very insufficient forces and just was not able to accomplish anything there. Anyway, C now pushing into the Great's natural expansion though with a large force. He's going to radiate some lurkers here. Defile. Consume is upgraded, or at least he has enough energy there to get the swarm down. So he's able to put down a swarm on those lurkers. Nicely done. A third base is floating out for C. He's going to try and set up a third base here in a kind of a strange location. Well, I guess it makes it's a little bit easier to run his forces to there than it is to that right side base. Anyway, C is now switching over to some factory units. Well, maybe he's not switching actually. Is he still on 3 racks? Is he seriously still on 3 racks all this time? He's macroing really well racks, that's for sure. Although Great has not been putting up too much of a fight, so there is that. Anyway, so he's got swarm up now, so he's going to be able to defend, but he really needs to get that third base up. He needs to get the third base up, otherwise he's just going to get irradiated to all heck. Anyway, yeah, I mean, that's just the thing about SK Terran. You just have a ton of science vessels. That was not very well executed by C, by the way. Did not have to lose that many Marines. But regardless, he clears out those lurkers. He's got enough of an advantage right now that it doesn't matter a ton at this point. Anyway, but yeah, if you don't have the gas to put out and the minerals to put out tons of units, then it doesn't matter if you have the swarm, because they can just overpower you and just get so many vessels. They can irradiate everything in sight, and it's just ridiculous. And so he's got to get that third base up and then defend it. But C is being very diligent about checking around different bases and, for instance, killing off this third base and the base at the top. And so he basically needed like a minute to get a Nidus Canal up over there if he wanted to. Oh, mine's gonna kill the. How's that lurker still alive? Never mind. Oh, splorch, pile of blood. Anyway, yeah, he needs to get a base up long enough to get a Nidus Canal in it so that he can defend it with these lurkers and swarm, but C is just being very diligent about shutting those things down. His base is almost up at the left side though, at the 9 o'clock position. There's a possibility he could defend that just by ground without needing a Nidus Canal really, since it's close enough, but it's hard to tell. Anyway, running here with some defilers and lurkers on C's third base. Look at this. C has 3 bases to Great's 2. When the Terran is up a base, it's not good at all. And really, Great is just hoping that somehow he can pull something off with swarms, with just the power of the swarm, the dark swarm alone. And but he's not really executing it terribly well, and he's not getting that third base up at the same time. So it's just really not working out for him. Anyway, he's got so he's got a couple lurkers in the gap at that left side base, so that is pretty much secured. It doesn't take much for that to be secure, and that Mutalisk was very effective. That was random. Maybe he was planning on plaguing some stuff, and he had the Mutalisk scout ahead of time. I don't know. Maybe it was going to be scouting Mutalisk or something like that. Very strange. Anyway, Great is going to lose a couple lurkers in the middle here. and lose any chance he had of putting some pressure. Now here's the thing: he's got to swarm down on those lurkers, but if he's got more vessels in the air, then it's not going to matter as much. But we haven't seen a ton of vessels. He's been switching over to more high-tech units. Oh man, those lurkers taking some mines, almost getting in close to that tank. So he is actually switching over to a lot of mech units. He's using a lot of vultures now instead, and not as many science vessels because of that. But again, he's using these mines to very, very great effect against the attacking lurkers. And at this point, he doesn't need to attack. Well, he can just expand, I guess, if he wants to, is basically the thing. He's actually gotten a 4th base up here. Wow, I didn't see that going up. So now C has a huge advantage. 4 bases to 3. He's got high-tech units going on. He's able to put out more high-tech units. And yeah, he's got switched over completely to fast point. Switched over completely to factories, and he's just being very, very effective with those. The swarms can still be effective against factory units, but when you have so many tanks, when you have a ton of tanks, siege tanks, if you can build up a ton of siege tanks, they do so much splash damage that it doesn't really matter. So C is basically just kind of playing a macro game here. He's playing defensively. He's harassing. He knows he has the advantage. He says, all right, if you've got swarms, I'll just pick off your extra bases, and that'll be that. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's picking off these extra bases that Great is trying to put up. Great still just barely at 3 bases, barely able to defend his 3rd base. He's got units camped right outside of his 3rd base, assaulting it now. Now he's sieging up outside of it. He's going to be able to hit that sunken. Not quite. Can't quite hit the sunken. But again, he's just irradiated the lurkers underneath that swarm, so he's going to be able to go in and assault that 3rd base pretty quickly here. In the meantime, C at 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2. He's getting a 5th base up. That's what I thought that was a 5th base. Wow, 5 bases up. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So it appears that, and I hate to call the game too early, but it appears that C is well on his way to getting revenge for his defeat in OSL, and is going to be advancing the MSL to the round of 16 after all, where some lucky MSL contender will have a free ticket to the round of 8, because C always flubs the round of 16. Oh man, I think there was one instance. Where he lost in the round of 8. Maybe was that versus Light? I think maybe it was versus Light, or no? He lost to Light in some Star League where everyone thought he was going to win the Star League and he was finally going to do well, and then of course he lost in the early rounds again. Anyway, but this 3rd base is under siege now. It looks like Great has managed to get a 4th base up at the 12 o'clock position. On the minimap at least, but C again at 5 bases, looking to set up a 6th in the bottom left here. Look, he's got vessels running around everywhere. He's got plenty to protect those vessels. He's got a group of medic marines down here still. So he's assaulting that, and yeah, C doesn't. I mean.